like they say, potential is not money. It has not translated into cash or asset for us. And now that we are having a government that is willing to do business and cleaning up the space for this to work, I think we are moving in the right direction.
This is Souk Business Landscape. We have another guest here. He is what we call the think tank of Souk News TV. Dr. Idahosa joins us virtually. So glad to have you, Dr. Idahosa Samanzi.
Good morning, Olumide. My pleasure to be here.
Good morning and welcome to Souk Business Landscape. So we were just talking about the aluminum refineries and other strategic new infrastructure going on. What are your hopes about the aluminum refinery? Sarah was also talking about, it will create jobs, it will also do this. But if we liken it to what happened with the Ajaokuta steel, which is still there, moribund or not, what are your hopes looking at this new aluminum refinery?
I think it's a welcome development. I have had opportunity to interact with people who have played in that sector. And one of the big challenges that the sector has suffered, which has been the problem of weak regulation. And that, of course, the agency has not been able to actually provide that enabling environment for people to bring in the needed resource to play in that sector. So that has plagued that sector. And, like it has been argued, since the nationalization of all foreign assets in the 1970s during the Obasanjo regime, not many people had been able to invest in that sector. So though we had it under our feet, like they say, potential is not money. It has not translated into cash or asset for us. Now that we are having a government that is interested, that is willing to do business and cleaning up the space for this to work, I think we are moving in the right direction. Thanks to the stability of the FX that, of course, the nation has also enjoyed recently, all of this will work together. So I'm very hopeful. It's not going to be like the Ajaokuta project, because the reason why Ajaokuta failed was because it was all government investment. But this one is not all government investment. It's partnership government is having with private sector who will drive this business to make profit. And so the potentials of Nigerians are being unlocked. Foreigners are now beginning to have confidence in what we are doing. They can see direction that we are ready to embrace reforms. And I think that is quite very important. But I think the one other thing that needs to be done, which for me will be quite very, very significant, is how to enhance security, especially in these areas where these minerals operate, so that those who are putting their money on the ground will not have to suffer risk of shutdown here and there. And then the security situations, especially in the Middle Belt and in the Northwest, where some of all these minerals are situated, can also be guaranteed. And I think aside that, it's a welcome development. We have seen that in the last 2 years, significantly, foreign direct investment are coming in, FDI, portfolio investments are coming into the country. And the nation is experiencing some take off, like they say in economy. So, and we do hope that if we can continue this trend of resource inflow into the mining sector, then Nigeria, of course, would have taken its pride of place among the Committee of Nations.
Right. And Dr. Idahosa, one of the things that is important to note is how they have said that this particular project is set to generate over $1.2 billion annually for the Nigerian economy. Now, how realistic is this projection in terms of what we have on ground? How realistic is the projection that this project will boost Nigeria's gross domestic product, GDP, in the long run?
Definitely, whether directly or indirectly. The truth of the matter is that we've actually been making this money in this sector, but the only problem is that it has been getting into the hands of very few private people. I remember some time ago, I think it was Adams of Shomole in the floor of the Senate that argued that he had names of even generals who were doing mining, and they were doing it illegally within the Nigerian space. So it's not about its potential of generating revenue. For me, that is the real critical issue, because the potentials are there. We have rare earth minerals that, of course, people have been taking advantage of over the years. So once we can remove all the structural and institutional weaknesses, and of course this fund comes in the way they are coming in, and government demonstrate the will that they are ready to sanitize that environment, those funds will come in. And of course the associated revenues that are going to come also is massive. Definitely GDP will get better. Definitely life become better, because of course a lot of people will be employed in that sector, because mining require a lot of hands. So all our young people who are active but doing nothing at the moment will find something definitely to do, and all this will contribute to the gross domestic product, of course, for the country. So I'm hopeful, and I believe that the potentials are there. I remember some years ago, I think that was in 2009, we were having a conversation somewhere, and somebody gave us a hint of the kind of conversation that we were, Nigerians were having with the United Arab Emirates. We were in Dubai at that meeting, and of course, they said after the presentations of the ministries in Nigeria, the king of UAE asked and said, what is the problem with Nigeria? That if we have this kind of resource under our feet, why are we thinking that we need 20 years to be able to be among the first 20 economies on earth? That if we do what is right, that within 5 years, Nigeria has the capacity to be among the first 5 countries in the world. So this is what it is, and that is what I think that is also possible. We just need to do things right. Let the regulation become strong enough. Let's remove all the illegal miners out of the space. And once we can do all of that, then you will see that the nation will experience real growth, real time.
All right, thank you very much, Doctor. Do what is right. So we have some obstacles. They have obstacles on our way. How do we tackle power, rail, epileptic power, rail infrastructure, and of course, security challenges around the mining area? How do we, and maybe some environmental concerns, how do we move forward past these obstacles?
I think some of all these things are gradually being addressed structurally. You remember recently it was Jennifer Digichi, the MD of Niger Delta Power Holding, who argued that what government needs to do and make electricity work is take away the tariff finally and let there be cost-reflective tariff that get into that industry. I don't think that electricity issue is something that we have to go to heaven to solve. The solutions are here with us, and all that we need to do is to create the enabling environment for people to put in their resource into that space. And once that is done, you will see that we will get all that we need to have. And I think that is all that is. The security issues is being tackled right now. Yes, insurgency is still there, very heavy, but we know that government is also making a whole lot of efforts and structural changes in the security architecture of the state. And I think that Nigeria needs to be much more resolved in dealing with its own security problem. I think the problem with security in Nigeria is the fact that there is so much emotions that are attached to it. And people feel that, when you do this and we read politics into criminality, government must be resolved to deal with criminal issues, and criminals are treated criminally. And once we can do all that, we'll find that the space will be right for people to invest. And that, of course, will generate jobs so that our people will not be carried into this death trap of protest or insurgency recruitment. So I think we just need resolve from government. And I think government is doing that as we speak. Also thanks to the collaboration of the United States in supporting Nigeria to deal with this problem once and for all. And I think once all this are aggregated, the environment will be safe. And I think we are doing better than we have ever done before now.
Right. So we're looking at this conversation from the aspect of economic diversification and value addition. Now, how would host communities benefit from this project in the long term in terms of jobs as well as infrastructural opportunities?
It's simple also. The truth is that once mining starts, globally today, CSR is no longer something that is done at the will of government. It's mandated by the virtue of the signatory into governance that once you are doing exploration in a place, you are mandated to invest in the environment where you work. And more so too that, of course, Nigeria has also signed into an act, what is called the Local Content Act now. So with the Local Content Act, which means every company that comes to operate in a particular environment has a government law that insists that they must invest in those environments. And don't also forget that every investor seems to also be thinking about how to cut costs. So they won't come to move people who are in Lagos to go work in Nasarawa, for example. Those who are going to work in those firms will be people who live in Nasarawa State. And all these things will rub off on the state. And don't forget that this, of course, company tax will be paid to state government. And this put more resources in the hands of the state government. They are able to build roads, build schools, invest in social infrastructure that will make the life of the people in that environment where mining is going on to be much more lucrative.
All right. So what other mining sector do you think Nigeria needs to look? Because we have about 40 commercially viable minerals, but mining itself contributes less than 1% to our gross domestic product. So what other mining sectors do you think we should explore at this point?
One step at a time. We're having people coming here to invest in the alumina. So that's a step in the right direction. We have a lot of coal in our environment. Californium is in large quantity in Nigeria also, and other rare earth minerals that, of course, nature has given to us. Don't forget that as we speak, in Nasarawa State, for example, that we're already exploring a lot. There are 2 factories, of course, producing battery, and that investment is already producing and yielding result from Nasarawa State. So there is a whole lot that we can do. It's for us to be able to spot these things, look out for people who are interested in what is in there, and then they can put in their money. Gold is in Osun State. That needs to be explored. There's gold in Zamfara that needs to also be invested in. And there is lithium. Yes, of course, lithium in Nasarawa. Of course, they're already exploring that one as we speak. So we have so much that God has given to us all across the 36 states of the Federation. There is no state in Nigeria that has no solid mineral. And therefore, investment will come. And we need to market what we have and show the world the potentials that are here. And then, of course, those who have the money can bring it in and invest in this industry and see how we can add value locally, creating jobs for the teeming youths in Nigeria, and then, of course, also improving on the standard of living for every Nigerian.